Well, that was absolutely a frustrating call. Okay. Yeah, that whole thing isn't working because if you question something, they're oblivious to it. They have a shutdown switch. They you can't go past it. They can't question that. They can't give you an explanation. All they can do is laugh at you because you're so crazy because he really is our president. All that other stuff is all made up. He's really not doing anything wrong. He's really doing a great job. By the way, you need to prepare because climate change has shown we've only got 30 years left on this planet. So prepare. I was like, oh my God, what in the actual hell? Nothing. Nothing. You know, it wouldn't bother me that much if it were just, like my neighbors and stuff, like, stay asleep. It doesn't have as much. When it's your own kids and you are one of the people who is speaking out. Yesterday, I've got all these court things coming at me, the power going off and stuff like that. Like, I already know. I mean, when you have a Secret Service show up at your house, you already know you're on a list. As soon as I start getting too many likes or, getting, I get, I think it's called shadow ban. When you go from like, it's like every minute, every second or whatever, and then all of a sudden it just stops. Magically, it just stops. Oh, we ran out of people. Yeah, this is weird. But then, when I say, hey, if anybody comes to the door or comes up to they can't cross the gates. If anybody comes up, I'm not here. I've left. I've gone to go take care of my sick mom out of town. You're here. That's it. Oh my God, crazy dramatic person. Oh my God, crazy dramatic person. Like, how can we communicate when we're in two different realities? It's like, you don't have any idea what I'm doing. I feel kind of like, back at the Civil War, or even during the Holocaust or something. The people is it's the resistance. When you are a part of the resistance and you have this strict communist controlling thing coming at you, yeah, they're going to go for the people who are. Trying to get that to sink into some people's heads, though. It's so weird. It's like you don't want to really see where it goes, because you can know how bad it can be, but it's kind of like, what the hell, do you have to see me get pulled off by gunpoint and stood in front of a ditch with a bunch of people, never have me come back, and them just tell you, oh, well, we had to send her somewhere to one of the camps. It's like, oh my God, it's weird. It's so weird. Is this what was going on during the Holocaust? Was this people this disconnected that they just couldn't think for themselves? Were they just being so misdirected and so traumatized by fear? Because this has been going on since the beginning of time. And this is what I wanted to talk about earlier was, for one thing, I see the planet as a living system. And that on this one level, we are fighting the dark to the light, like in the never-ending story. The dark has started out as one thing and became this bacterial disease, parasitic. I don't think you could say the one word, but it went like how those brain tumors work, just went and put itself all over and everything and became more and more toxic. And as it became more and more toxic, because it started from, these ancient advanced beings that, made us. And the one guy who talks about it on that show Initiation on Gaia Channel, what was his name? Like Stefano, I think, something like that. He was saying in the beginning that there was certain aliens that came to try and help the human beings learn. And so they all were bringing their information, and there became, everybody thought we should be like them. We should do things their way. And so it became kind of a battle between all of them. And then there is something about that they were each able to give us a little, like a philosophy. And it is like the 13 families. Okay, this is weird because it gets really weird because they talk about the beginning of time with this Venetian 13 original families that have stayed in this ancestral, like kept themselves into their, their clean blood. They haven't used any of us to, we would be dirty. We're the whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's always them and us. And so these 13 families that got complete control. But then there's also, when you go in and listen to that guy, he talks about the 13 family, like they were family leaders, like each family member got a different group. Each, like these different aliens gave them a different philosophy. But in order to come together and have all these philosophies, then see how you can have a more broader thing. If you're constantly fighting, well, this is the right way. No, this is the right way. No, this is the right way. That's why, like, those kind of things just drive me crazy right now. People that want to do that, like, this is the only way. You got to do it my way. This is the right way. That is part of what, if you find yourself saying any of that stuff to anybody, no. Everybody can figure out their own way. You don't need to tell anybody how to do something. I mean, if there's some people who really need help to figure it out, then help them. But this constantly telling people, like, you got to do it this way and stuff like that, no. But people need to come together to get all of these different views to have a deeper understanding. So and this is something I had heard also all the way back when my mom was trying to get me to go to church and stuff like that. It was something I had heard back then, and it was also about these 13 different things of information that were out there, but each group had a different piece. Like the Buddhists had a piece. I think I talked about this before. This religion had a piece. These different groups all had a piece, but they were constantly at war with each other. They're constantly saying their way's the right way, so they never come together and share information. But the real truth is in the sharing of the information. But everybody wants to have their information be the right information. So that same kind of philosophy I've heard from different kind of groups in different ways. So it makes sense to me. It's always made sense to me because I've always known in my heart that people have to come together. We got to quit fighting over the right way, the wrong way, and stuff like that. It's all about just sharing information. And that not everybody has all the answers. And for the Christians to think like their way, that's it. All these other people, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Or, the Muslims or the Buddhists or whatever. Everybody has some part of the puzzle. You can't complete your puzzle without getting the parts from all the people. It's kind of like the life of is a scavenger hunt or something. You have to go out and be a seeker. And that is one thing that blows my mind, is because that is what I have always done. Is I don't just wait for something to come to me. I go out seeking. I go out looking. I go out trying to understand. And you find your deepest understanding going to all the different groups, especially to the groups you don't agree with. That is where I have found the most, eye-opening information, is going and speaking, or not trying to convince them of my point, but listening to their point and just trying to understand where they're coming from. So, that is where we find our answers. But this disease, it started out as this, this group, this one sickness, right? And it went out and it had dominion over humans, but humans weren't to that point of understanding consciousness. They were just a vessel that had a lot of stuff going on the planet that you could come in and incarnate and go through a lot of experiences. But it was still a very contained, controlled environment because human beings had no, awareness of their consciousness, especially like when you're incarnated. They could completely when they're not incarnated because everybody's at different levels. But anyways, it's always been a very controlled environment. But in that control, that there started being so much access, people started feeding the evil. So you think about the never-ending story, the darkness. It started becoming fed. It started taking over. We have gluttony. Talk about that one all the time. We have fear. Oh my gosh. And we have lust, power, greed, all of these kinds of things, which when you go in the Bible says, don't false idols, don't follow these paths. These paths will lead you down a dark place. And then you see what is happening and how it is leading us down a dark place. So what the repercussions of being led down that dark place have. Sadness, loneliness, disconnect, competition, enslavement, never reaching potential. It's a very, very controlled atmosphere, and it's very dark. And there is so much access to that negative energy that people think of as being evil, devils and demons and stuff like that. And so, and that energy is all around us. I talk about this all the time. It's around us all the time. This is, it's an illusion. This whole thing is an illusion. So you have people who are tapping into evil that don't even realize they're tapping into evil. And they just think like that's, I can't even tell you how many times I get told, that's just the way of the world. That's just the way it is. Why can't you accept things? Because we create things. We create things. We have control. We can change this. As long as you're waiting for a savior, then I guess, you're helpless. But, Big Pharma will come to your rescue. They've got a pill for everything. So just give them a call. Give your doctor a call. Because they were trained by people who... This is the thing. So you have this group who got control. Like, they had all of the information, the power. They were the chosen ones from the more ancient beings. There is something supposedly with the blue blood and stuff. There's people who say, oh, it's reptilian blood. And the reptilian blood has to do something with the cold blood. And the reptilians do have some good philosophies. That is still something that a warm-blooded mammal being could learn from. That is how we come up and learn and learn and learn and learn. There is no good or bad. But so this group was given more power, and the power turned into a really dark negative. It went out, and it grew like a disease grows. That evil and stuff took it and went out like a sickness across the planet, into our lives, into our brains. Like, it's on different levels. The way that they program and stuff, they put that sickness in your brain. They reach it out in different fingers all over. So that's why we have these people who are so deep in their brainwash that they can't break free of it. They can't see past it. And it's so weird because they sit there and say, like, you're brainwashed, but they've got nothing ever to back anything up that they look at or see or anything, and that doesn't cause question in their head. It doesn't trigger a thought, a light bulb, a epiphany. But so those tentacles, like if they start out first, like the government, the banking system grew out of that. And you just take the banking system, how that was turned into complete enslavement of the people, and the way that they used programming to make us want certain things. They even showed us like how society would be. You know, like the Kardashians, they're on there. Oh, this empty, shallow, disgusting, worship money, have no integrity, have no, what is that? When you just go out and you just be tacky for money. Like that is like epidemic right now. It's absolutely insane. But you have, like how they were able to reach their sickness into every aspect of our life. Then you take like our medical and how they were able to create big pharma and this all-consuming system to keep us sick, to keep people unhealthy, and the government, and all the stuff with the taxation. Like every single thing they have done was to expand and control. And then every time they go to that floor, that area, and something else comes up, well, they just expand further and expand further and expand further and expand further, till pretty soon your whole brain is just the sickness, just like the whole planet is just the sickness. So they've encapsulated every state of being. Like there's more than just the 3D element that's going on. And so they've got, this encapsulated people. And, I'm kind of beginning to feel like that's why there's so many of us here right now, that we are the white blood cells for the planet. Like if you understand how sickness works in the body, like something happens, you get a cut or something, and bacteria starts going into your body. All your white blood cells will just multiply really quick, and they will rush to that place in your body, and they will just start fighting, like actually fighting the sickness. And it gets more and more. You can look into it, and maybe it will help you have a better understanding how the body works, even. But so the blood cells are there fighting the blood cells that are trying to kill you. So on that level, like if you go up into like the spiritual level, how to look at things, to me, this is like even going beyond that, because how I see it is on this, I don't know, like a level, like I would be way far away from the planet and be able to look down and see. And then everything looks kind of like ants. It looks like little tiny things. And then you see all of these white blood cells coming from all of these other places, coming in, zooming in, which, some people could look at it as like angels, the light beings, the star seeds, light workers, all of these souls coming in to fight this darkness. And the thing that I have started kind of feeling like is that, like, all that stuff makes sense. Like, I know my purpose. I know why I'm here. I know what my whole thing has been. I know what the messages have been in my head my whole life. Like, it all has made sense now. Like, we finally got to a point where I understand. Finally got to a point in my life where I understand it. Like, it all makes sense. And like I have a different perspective over things that are going on than a lot of people. But now I'm starting to see, like, are these the people that we came here to save? Because the sickness is so intertwined in their brains. They don't, I mean, I keep talking about, like, what are they going to do when they see? Like, I just got in a huge argument with another person that they... just asking them, like, why? And they just say, no, that's just not true. It's just not true. He really is president. I can't even say it because you have to be voted in to get that title. You don't assign yourself. That's called a dictator. That's a regime. At least, no, they're fucking definitions. But I don't know. It's when I literally try and have a lot of these conversations because it is people that I really love, that are locked in, this locked in syndrome, whatever the hell's going on. I'm always trying and figure it out. I'm always trying to figure out how to get in there. And I completely understand what is happening is for this evolution for a soul. This is the cosmic event of pushing back that evil, peeling it back. Like the white blood cells come in to fight that back, so that this event, this cosmic event of leaving that and moving forward. We're doing that. We lift the vibration. So all the white blood cells are here to fight that disease, to lift the vibration, so that we can move into the other one. But there's, that TikTok channel, just talking to people in my family and knowing that, like, what all of their friends, like, is there nobody that they know that has seen or understand things? It's like, how big is this group of people who are so locked in? Like, it's mind-boggling. I don't understand why, and they just turn into just like this smug, smirky, especially when it's people that aren't like that. They aren't, they do really turn people into something different than they are. It's really, but that's what I'm constantly talking about on all of my different recordings, is as this stuff is happening, as everything is being pulled away and falling apart, this is when you're going to start really trying to understand yourself, because everything about you right now is built on this false reality. Everything about you as a person, you've built it on this. It's all been fake. It's all been an illusion. And so this is why it's called the Great Awakening, because all of this stuff being pulled away from you has to get you to question yourself, has to get you to open up and to understand, to be able to understand your consciousness and understand what you are. I mean, there's still people right now, while that are just waiting for Jesus to come and save us. Like, people are so wrapped up in this illusion of a world they created that they don't understand their own power. They don't understand that they are an eternal being here having an experience. And the reason you go through these experiences that you label as horrible is because you expand as a soul. And that's all a soul wants to do. Expand and help other souls and go have fun. Fly around and, be energy. So there is no end to you. There's only expansion. Once you have already gotten to the point of having consciousness that can go into a body, then you are already to a certain point in soul world. You already have evolved to that point to be able to incarnate. That's why, you've got to see how special you are, even if you feel like, horrible, even if you feel like the worst piece of shit in the world. That is one thing too. That's all an illusion. And everybody's got their own thing. Some people have, they've surrendered to life because it's too hard and they can't imagine anything better. Other people, they're playing stuff out with no awareness. Like, all of it will come to when you get in touch with yourself, when you realize that there's something more out there and you connect to it. And it's expansive. It will expand your whole understanding of the world, of life. But, right now there's just so many people are just so stuck and idolizing science, and that you can question, well, why does this mean this and this means this, and why don't these two be the same? And like, how does this make sense? Oh my God, would you just stop with that? Just stop, okay? Quit. You're a conspiracy theorist. So we'll see where this day takes us. And, have a great day. Stay safe. I don't know. Today, when the electricity went off again, I was like, oh my God, is this how this is going to go down? Like, are we going to just every day have some kind of weird, like, no power? And then one of us will be sitting here going like, huh, is this it? Does everyone have no power? Like, what's happening? And the other person's, have a completely different idea of what's going on. No, I don't know. I think you get what I'm saying. So, anyways, we'll just have to see. I certainly hope it's not going to go slow day after day, no power, having to try and, ask this other person, like, what's happening? What's happening? Can you explain, please? Yeah. I just hope we get something, we need the big boom. We need the emergency broadcast to come on, and, that will get some attention. That will get people to pay attention. Fear gets them every time. But as long as you show it to them, see the alarm coming on, they won't be able to deny it. You can't get anything else out there. You can put all the scare stuff on you want, but if you're not on their channel, on their frequency, you can't get in. You can't get any other information in. That alarm will bah, bah, bah. Then all of a sudden there's something happens. That fear trigger, that'll get their attention. Oh, come on. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you later.